Good morning, guys. Welcome back. Today is our third session in the Java real-time project development. Okay, in the day one, we discussed about course details like what are the prerequisites for this course and what is the course content, course duration, who should learn this course, what are the benefits you are going to get after attending this course. Then day two, that is yesterday. In the yesterday session, we discussed about projects and companies and interview process in those companies, right? What is a product based company, what is service based company, and what is outsourcing company, how the interview process will be there in those companies, that we discussed in the yesterday session. And today, day 3, today we are going to understand what are the roles and responsibilities of software developer, roles and responsibilities of developers in the software company. So that means company is going to give the job for you. What you need to do as part of that job? What are your roles and responsibilities as a Java developer once you joined in that company? Getting my point? And when you attend the interview also, they will ask this question. If you go for any company to give the interview, immediately they will ask a question. Could you please tell me about yourself? And could you please explain about your project? These two are common questions. Self-introduction, project. Third question, explain your roles and responsibilities in the current company. What you are doing in that current company, that is going to be very common question. So today we are going to understand the roles and responsibilities of developers in the software job. So as a Java developer, any developer, not only Java, it can be any technology. As a software developer, what are our roles and responsibilities? As a developer, the very first step, we need to participate. We need to participate in project meetings, guys. Every day, some meetings will be available in the project. Once you join in the company, you will be allocated to a project, and every day meeting will be available in the software project. So what kind of meetings will be available? The meetings, something like functional discussions will be available. Functional discussions will be available, and bug triage meetings will be available. Bug triage meetings will be available, and Scrum meetings will be available. So these are common every day, guys. So once you join in the company, every day these Scrum meetings will be available, and the next one, release calls will be available. Release calls. So once you joined in the project, whether you are a fresher or experienced, that doesn't matter. You have to participate in all those meetings on daily basis. So one is functional discussion. Second one, bug triaging will be available. Bug triaging meetings will be available, and Scrum meetings will be available, and the release calls will be available. Every team member should attend all those meetings. And one more thing, there will be a meeting called backlog grooming meeting will be available. Backlog grooming meeting will be available, and another meeting, sprint planning meeting will be available. Then retro meetings will be available. So these are the different names of the meetings that we are having in the software company. Can you read out them? Functional discussions, bug triaging, backlog grooming, sprint planning, Scrum, release, retro. So complete new terminology, guys. So complete new terminology. If you go for any software company, whether it is a startup company or whether it is a big MNC company also, this terminology you need to understand. Every day, these meetings will be available for you. Okay, anyone, every day, all the meetings will not be available. At least 1 or 2 meetings will be available on daily basis. And remember, so if you are joining in the company, company will tell you 8 to 9 hours of work. In the 8 to 9 hours of work, 5 to 6 hours only meetings will be there in the company. So actual coding, the actual testing will be there only 2 to 3 hours in a day. The remaining time we will participate in the meetings only. Getting my point? Right. Functional discussions will be available. Functional discussions, nothing but the functional team will be available for the project. That functional team is going to explain what is the client expectation, what is the client requirement, what we need to develop, how we need to develop, what is the requirement. That requirement they are going to explain in the functional discussion. Okay, so yesterday I have shown you one FDD document, guys. So I have prepared one document for the mini project development, right? So similarly, in the company, that kind of document will be available for us. So once you go to the company, they will going to provide you one document like this. FDD document will be available. Functional people will prepare this FDD document and they will give you FDD document. You need to read that FDD document. If you are not able to understand any functionality, then you need to ask a functionality, okay, I want to develop this dashboard page. If you have any doubt, then you need to ask them. So to understand about the requirements, you are going to join in one meeting called functional discussion meeting will be available. So in the functional discussion meeting, functional team will be available, business analyst team will be available. That team is going to explain the requirement for the developers and the testers. Developers and testers available in the Hyderabad location. Our client is available in the US. So in the client location, one team will be available. That team will explain functionality of the project for you. So you need to understand that functionality. If you have any questions, you need to ask the questions to the functional team members. They will give the clarity. Once you got the clarity on the functionality, then you need to start the designing of the project. What is the meaning of functional discussion? They will explain requirements of the application to you. So in that meeting, development team will be available, testing team also will be available. Then next one, bug triage meetings will be available, guys. So that let me keep that later. So functional meeting, backlog, sprint planning, scrum meeting, release calls, retro meetings, and bug triage meetings also will be available. What is the backlog grooming? Backlog grooming nothing but identifying pending works in the project. So in our project, what is the pending? What items are pending? What functionality is pending? As a team, we are going to discuss in the backlog grooming meeting. And the next one, sprint planning meeting will be available. Sprint planning means work planning for the next 2 weeks of time, what we need to do in the project. So a plan will be prepared before going to start the work. This week and the next week, what we have to do, that will be discussed in the sprint planning meeting. Backlog grooming meeting is used to identify what is pending in the project. So all the team members will join, will discuss that. Okay, in our project, registration functionality is pending. Okay, exception handling is pending, unit testing is pending, deployment is pending, like that. What functionalities are pending in the project, that we will discuss in the backlog grooming meeting. What is the meaning of a sprint planning? What we need to do for the next 2 weeks. What is our work plan for the next 2 weeks? So that we are going to discuss in the sprint planning. The next one, Scrum meeting will be available every day, Monday to Friday, every day. Scrum meeting will be available for 15 to 20 minutes of time. This Scrum meeting is also called as a stand-up call. Stand-up call or status call, we can call this with multiple names. Some people will call it as a scrum meeting, some people will call it as a status call. What you have done today, you need to update to your scrum master. Hey Ashok, what are you doing every day? At the evening or in the morning, one meeting will be available with our scrum master. In that meeting, all the team members should tell what they have done today, what work they completed today, what is pending, and when it will be completed, what are the problems they are facing to complete that work. That we are going to discuss every day in the Scrum call. So in the Scrum call, I will give my work update like this. My Scrum Master name is Steve. He is in US. So every day I will join my Scrum call. I will tell, hi Steve, good morning. Today I am working on Jira story number 3356 that is related to Jenkins file creation to deploy our application into dev environment. This task will be completed by tomorrow. I don't have any challenges to complete this story. Once this story is completed, I will take the next story and I will work on that. So every day we need to give that update to the Scrum Master. Suppose, so hi Steve, good morning. Today I am working on story number 4358. It is related to login functionality implementation in our application. This story will be completed by today, including testing. Once this story is completed, I will take another story and I will work on that. I don't have any challenges to complete the story. So that like that you need to speak in the Scrum call and you need to give your work update to the Scrum Master. Suppose you are not able to complete one story, you are facing some problem. Hi Steve, good morning. Today I am working on registration functionality implementation in our project. In this functionality, there is a CAPTCHA implementation. I got stuck with the CAPTCHA implementation. I need help from the team members. Like that, you can tell to the Scrum Master. So any problem that you are facing, you can tell to the Scrum Master. Every day, that stand-up call or Scrum call will be available. In that Scrum call, we need to give the work updates to the Scrum Master. Monday to Friday, every day that meeting will be available. Are you guys getting my point? So what is the meaning of functional discussion? What we will discuss in the functional discussion meeting? The client given requirements. We are going to understand application requirement, what we need to develop, what we need to deliver to the client, that we will discuss in the functional meeting. Then what is backlog grooming? What functionalities are pending in the project, what we need to complete, that we are going to discuss in the backlog meeting. Sprint planning, what is the plan for the next 2 weeks of time, what we need to do for next 2 weeks as a team, what our team should do in the next 2 weeks, that we will discuss in the sprint planning. Then what is a Scrum meeting? Work update. Every day we will give our work updates to Scrum Master. Next one, release calls will be available. Release calls nothing but when our project is delivering to the client, a meeting will be available. Production deployment will be available. We have developed code. We tested in our system. Now we need to make our application live. What is the meaning of application live? End users, as of now, development is done, testing is done. Only our team members are accessing application within the company. We are testing. So with today, everything is completed. Final delivery of the project is there today. We are delivering project to the client. When we are delivering a project to the client, release call will be available. How DevOps team is going to deliver project to the client, how they are mapping our project to the domain name, that complete process they will explain in the release call. So every developer should join in the release call also. Release call nothing but project is releasing to the production environment. When the project releases to the production, end users can access our application through internet. So that release meeting will be available for every 3-4 months. Once release meeting will be available, we need to join. The next one, retro meetings will be available. Retro meeting nothing but review meetings, guys. Retro meeting nothing but review. Suppose nowadays lot of YouTube channels are there. When there is a movie release, afternoon what they will do? They will create one video, 5 to 10 minutes. They will explain the movie review. What is positive in that movie? What is negative in the movie? How they have performed? How the story is available? Within 5 minutes, they will summarize that 3 hours of movie. A movie review will be available. Similarly, in our project also, once our project is completed, 2 weeks sprint is available na. Once 2 weeks work is completed na, then one review meeting will be available. How we have worked in the last 2 weeks of time, or how we worked in the last 1 month of time. What is the great thing we have done in the last 1 month? What is the worst thing we have done in the last 1 month? Is there any improvement? Is there any lesson we have learned? Is there any mistake we have done? Okay, anything new we have implemented? Anything bad happened to the project? So that complete 1 month what we have done as a team, that we are going to review as part of the retro meeting. Monthly once retro meeting will happen. Monthly once retro meeting will happen. In that retro meeting, you need to give your feedback about the teamwork in the 1 month of time. So they will ask me, hey Ashok, can you share your thoughts on the last 1 month of work? I will tell that Hi, Steve. In the last 1 month, we completed 2 sprints. So these 2 sprints went very well. We have implemented very great functionality and we have improved performance of our application. Earlier, when customers are accessing our application, it is taking average 5 seconds of time to load the web page. So we identified there is a problem in the SQL query with unwanted conditions. We identified the root cause and we removed those conditions. Now our application is loading within 2 seconds of time. We reduced 3 seconds of the performance in the application. This is one of the great things we have done in the last 1 month. That the way that we are explaining that communication is very important. So what we have done, all these tips, guys, whatever I have faced in my career, I have done so many projects. I worked with so many team members. So whatever I have done in my career, everything I will explain. How to speak in the functional discussion, how to speak in the backlog grooming, how to speak in the sprint planning, how to give a work update, how to work with the release calls, how to join in the release meeting, what you need to discuss in the retro meetings, what you need to discuss in the bug triage meetings. All these things I will explain for you. All these things I will explain for you. So once you join in the company, every day you need to work with these meetings, guys. Only Java coding. So if you are Java developer, as part of your job, coding is only 30%. The remaining 70% is management only. So you need to understand that part. You got the clarity. So if anybody asks you, hey Ashok, can you tell me what is your feedback on the last 2 sprints we have completed? I need to talk about my team, what they have done in the last 2 weeks of time or in the last 4 weeks of time. What is the good thing we have done? What is the worst thing we have done? That we need to discuss. And we need to share any new ideas also, which will help to the team member. We need to give any new ideas as well. So in the retrospective, a review meeting will be available. Every team member will share their feedback about the team. And if you have any new idea, then you can share that new idea to the team. Are you getting my point? What is retro meeting? What is retro meeting? Retro meeting is nothing but review meeting. What kind of ideas? Recently, in my team, I have given 2 ideas in the retro meeting. One is every Friday, some fun activity. Every Monday to Friday team is working on. So everybody is working from home. People don't know, my team members don't know my face. I'm doing work from home. I don't want to go to office. If I go to office, I can't run the institute. So that's why I have taken permanent work from home job. Actual my team is Bangalore, but I'm working from home. My team don't know who, they know Ashok, but they don't know the face of Ashok. So that is the reason I'm running the institute here. They know they know Ashok, but they don't know who is that Ashok, right? My team members don't know my face. Okay. So now, so the team is working on. So the ideas that we have given every Friday, at least 1 to 2 hours, some funny activities should happen in the team. Some online games, team collaboration, team networking should happen. Then we can build networking with the team members. And one more idea, every month, 4th Friday, we need to conduct one training for the team members. So this week, suppose if I am going to teach Docker tool for my team members, next week, somebody should teach some other concept to the team members. In-house trainings should happen because nobody knows everything. I'm expert in some area. My team member expert in some other area. For example, I know AWS cloud. I'm expert in the AWS cloud. One of my team member expert in the Azure cloud. Then one weekend, one Friday, I will conduct 2 to 3 hours class for my team members on the AWS cloud. Next week, my colleague will take the class on the Azure cloud. After next month, one more person will take the class on the GCP cloud. So that knowledge sharing is very important in the company. So I have given one idea in our project. Every month, last Friday, we need to conduct 2 to 3 hours training session. What is the benefit with that?
Knowledge transfer.
What is the benefit with that? Knowledge sharing will be available. So that idea I posted in the retro meeting. My team accepted that. We are following the idea from last 6 months of time. So every month, last Friday, 2 hours training will be available for my team members. So that is a round robin. If I give training 1 month, then next month my team members has to give. So that shuttle will be available, round robin. So my team members are 10 people. So when I will get the next chance? After 10 months. After 10 months, I'm going to get the chance again to take the class for that. So like this, these kind of any ideas that you have that is helpful for your project, that is helpful for your team members, those kind of ideas you can discuss in the retro meetings. In the IT industry, if you want to survive, communication skills are very, very, very important. You should be able to speak. Whatever the work that you are telling, that work you need to showcase to your team members. Your team members should realize, Arey, Ashok is very good engineer here. He is doing excellent coding. At the same time, he is giving very good ideas which are helping to the team members. My manager should realize that I'm a good employee. If a manager realize that, when manager will realize that I'm a good employee? Every month I will go to my manager. I will tell that, hey boss, last 1 month I have done this work. I have given these ideas. So all these, yes sir, which class? Yeah, okay. So we need to, whatever the work that we are telling, that work we need to inform to the manager. Our manager should know what we are doing in the project. Our manager should know what we are doing in the project. Then manager will have a positive opinion on your profile. Then manager will give you promotion. Manager will give you hikes also in the company. So that communication, speaking is very, very, very important when you are working as a software engineer. Coding skills should be there and communication skills also should be there. Suppose for example, you are doing lot of code, but you are not able to tell what you are doing to the manager. Is there any use? You are doing very good work, but your manager don't know what you are doing. What is the benefit you are going to get? Every month salary you will get, that's it. You will not get any hike, you will not get any promotion. So that's why speaking is very, very important when you go for the software job. Communication skills are very, very important, guys. Good. Next one. We understood what is retro meeting. What is the meaning of retro? What is the meaning of retro? Review and ideas. Review will be there. Last 1 month, how our team has done the work that we are going to discuss as part of the review meeting. And if you have any ideas that you can share in the meeting, if your idea is good, if there is any benefit of that idea, then team will accept that idea, then they will implement that idea also. Are you clear with my point? Next one. Bug triaging meetings will be available. Bug triage meeting is almost a fighting between development team and testing team. Bug triage meeting nothing but we have developed code and we have delivered that code to the testing team to test the functionality. Tester is saying that some functionality is not working. Developer will say that it is working as expected. So is there any communication gap between the developer understanding, tester understanding on the functionality that will be discussed in the bug triage meeting? So the tester identified some bugs in your code, but you don't feel that is a bug. So there is a communication gap. Whatever the requirement is there, developer understanding, tester understanding is different. We completed the code, tester tested. Tester is saying that code is not working as expected. Then developer will ask, what is the proof? How can you say my code is not working? Can you show me that? Whenever they are showing this functionality not working, developer will check the requirement. So is it working as expected or not? If it is working, then why tester is saying not working? What is the tester understanding? What is the developer understanding? Is there any communication gap? That we are going to discuss in a meeting. That meeting is a bug triage meeting. Bug triage meeting. So guys, in the real time, most of the companies, development will happen in one company, testing will happen in the another company. Do you know that? So in most of the companies, development will happen in one company, final testing will happen in another company because to get the quality. Suppose in my company, I'm a developer, my friend is a tester. What will happen? Tester is saying that boss, your function not working. Beta, this weekend I will give you party. Don't find a bug in my code. Compromise will happen or not? Definitely that kind of things will happen in the company. So there is a critical functionality available. Tomorrow there is a release. So if tester identified a bug, what will happen? Manager will catch me. Ashok, why this code is not working? I will tell to tester, don't report this bug, keep silent. I will give you party. Bus. Katam. So what is happening now? Project quality we are compromising. So if we do the development and testing in the same company, these kind of loopholes will be there. So that is the reason companies will not compromise on the quality. That's why company will give, the client will give development to one company, testing to the another company. If the testing is given to another company, what will happen? Competition will be there. So when I was working for Deloitte company, do you know the Deloitte is most famous company for the auditing, guys? Deloitte is a auditing company, and in the auditing industry, there is a concept called Big Four companies are available. So one is Deloitte, another one is KPMG, and another one is EY, and there is some other companies also available. Total 4 companies are the competitors in the auditing sector in the market, in the entire world, not only in India. So Deloitte is a UK based company. So in this auditing sector, big 4 companies are available. One is Deloitte, KPMG, EY. Deloitte and KPMG are the competitors. In the business terminology, those 2 companies are the competitors. What client A has done? Client A has given development work to the Deloitte, testing to the KPMG. Why? Why they have given development to the Deloitte test? I was part of the development team in the Deloitte company, and my testing team is in the KPMG company. So actually Deloitte and KPMG competitors. So they will try to fight with each other in the business. Now, if development is done by Deloitte, what KPMG will do? They will do the proper testing. They will find as many bugs as they want. If they find so many bugs, then what KPMG can tell? Deloitte is waste company. They are not doing the proper development. Are you getting my point? Why client has given to KPMG for testing? To get the quality. KPMG will do very proper testing because development done by Deloitte. If suppose development and testing both are done by KPMG, no, they will not keep that much effort. As development is done by the Deloitte company, KPMG will keep a lot of people to identify the bugs in the application. If so many bugs identified in the application, what is the benefit for KPMG? Next time, client will not give the project to the Deloitte. Client will give the project to KPMG only. That's why. So in my project, we have done the development. Testing is done by the KPMG. Every day morning 7 o'clock, bug triage meeting will happen. That is almost a fighting between developers and testers. Developers are from Deloitte, testers are from the KPMG. So it's almost like a fish market. They will say that functionality not working. We will say that you don't know how to test it. Are you getting my point? So that kind of bug triage meetings will happen in the company when we are going for the development and testing, guys. So you need to participate in the bug triage meeting and you need to explain when they say there is a bug. So if that is really not a bug, you need to explain them why it is not a bug, how you developed it, why you develop like this, what is the requirement. You need to have complete clarity on the requirement. Then only you can fight with them in the bug triage meetings. Are you able to follow this? So as a developer, so today, what is the topic that we are understanding? Roles and responsibilities. Roles and responsibilities of developers. So any technology, once you join in the company, what kind of work that you are going to do? What are your roles and responsibilities in the company? So the first thing that every developer should know, every day, minimum 4 to 5 hours you will spend on the meetings only. Every day, 4 to 5 hours of time you are going to spend only for the meetings in the company. Only 2 to 3 hours you will get the time for the coding and testing. That is the fact. Good. What is the first? What kind of meetings will be available, guys? Functional meetings will be available. Backlog grooming meeting, sprint planning, scrum meeting, release meeting, retro meeting, bug triage meeting. Why I am telling you this? Tomorrow, once you join in the company, your manager will tell you, hey Suresh, today we are having a sprint planning. Please join for that meeting. So you should know what is that sprint planning first of all. Without knowing that, what will happen? If you don't know the terminology, what will happen? You don't know what is happening in the project. So terminology is very, very, very important. So we need to participate in project meetings, functional discussion. What we will discuss in this meeting, guys? Requirements. What is client requirement? We will discuss in that. Next one. What are the pending work? Backlog grooming. What is the meaning of backlog grooming? Pending works we will discuss in the project. Sprint planning. What
Create,
is our plan for next 2 weeks? What we need to complete in the next 2 weeks of time? We will discuss in the sprint planning. What is Scrum meeting? What is Scrum meeting? Status call. What we are doing in the project, we need to update to the Scrum Master. You are working on which story, when it will be completed, is there any challenge available to complete the story, that you need to explain to Scrum Master. What is the release call? Deployment, live deployment. When there is a project production deployment, okay, this release call is nothing but prod deployment, guys. DevOps team is going to do the production deployment, but you need to observe how they are doing the production deployment for the application. Retro meetings. After the deployment completed, then review. What went well? What went wrong? What is great? What is worst? What are the lessons we have learned? Any new ideas we have? Those things we are going to discuss in the retro meeting. Then what is bug triage meeting? Discussion between the testers and developers related to a bug. If any bug occurred, that there should be a discussion why that bug occurred. Is it a mistake of the developer? Is it a mistake of the tester? That we have to discuss. For that, a meeting will be available. That meeting is called bug triaging. Are you clear? Good. Next, this is one responsibility, guys. Like this 10-15 responsibilities will be available for the developer. One of your responsibility, attending the meetings in the project. If you don't attend the meetings, you don't know what is happening in the project. You don't know what is happening in the project. If you don't know what is happening, you can't work in that project, and they will escalate. Suppose if you don't join 2 to 3 meetings, then escalation will happen. That means complaint. Team members will raise a complaint on you. Ashok is not attending the meetings from yesterday. Then manager will call you. Ashok, what happened? Why are you not attending the meetings? So if I don't attend the meetings 2 to 3 days, then they will escalate, and you need to give the explanation to the manager why you are not attending. If you say that I am very busy with my coding, I don't want to join the meetings. Can you do like that? No. If you don't join the meetings, you don't know what is happening in the project. Good. Next one. Second thing, guys. Second thing, we need to participate in the project meetings. In every project, below meetings will be available. In every project below, meetings will be available. Guys, this course is real-time project. I'm explaining complete real-time concepts. I'm sharing my experience with you. It's not like a regular course. I'm sharing my experience with you. That is going to help you in order to get the job as well as to survive in the job also. And the next one. Second thing, guys, as a developer, we need to prepare. We need to understand the requirements, and get clarifications if any doubts on requirements. Functional people will explain the requirement for you, and functional people will share a document like this. So this document is called as functional design document. What we need to develop in our application, they will prepare one document like this. Functional team will be available. They will give this document to the development team and testing team. So this document is like Bible, Quran, and Bhagavad Gita. Whatever is there in the document, we have to follow that document, and we have to develop based on that document only. So if it is not there, then you should not do it. You need to follow what is there in that document only. So this is equal to Bhagavad Gita, Quran, and Bible for us. We have to follow that. So this document will tell you what is the requirement of our project, how we need to develop the screen. For example, here button color is available as blue. I don't like blue, I like red. Can I keep red there? No. So that is the client requirement. So whatever is there in the document, that we need to keep here. Are you getting my point? So blindly, you need to follow the document. You need to understand the document. Suppose if you have any questions, then you need to talk to your functional team to get the clarifications if you have any doubts on the requirement. So first you need to spend good amount of time to get the clarity on the requirement first. Don't, whenever they give some task, don't go and start the development directly. First understand the requirement. So if you have any question, if you need any clarity, then you talk to your functional team. Functional team, nothing but business team. They will tell you what is the client expectation. If you have any doubt, they will give the clarification for your doubt. So this is the second responsibility of the developer. First responsibility, participating in the meetings. Second responsibility, understanding the requirement, getting the clarifications if any doubts on the requirements. Once you got the complete picture of the requirement, then the next step that you need to use, that is database design for the development. Database design for the project. Suppose I have given this requirement for you. So you need to understand this requirement. To develop this login page, registration page, dashboard page, inquiry page, total there are 5 pages available. To develop this 5 pages application, this is one mini project for us. In order to develop this 5 pages application, how many tables are required in the database? Nobody will tell you. As a developer, you should use your brain and you should come up with the database design for your application. For your functionality, how many tables you need to create? In the table, what columns you need to take? What data type you need to take for the column? How many primary keys you need to take? How many foreign keys you need to take? What constraints you need to take? What kind of relationship we need to establish for the tables? Is it one to one, one to many to one, many to many? What kind of relationships are required for this table, that you need to identify, and you need to create database design for the project. All of you completed Oracle training, but if I ask you to design the database for this project, 100% you will fail. Because you know how to create a table, how to perform CRUD operations. That is fresher level. But when it comes to experience, you should design the database based on the project requirement. So most of the people will fail this concept. So we are going to learn the database designing also for the application. So when I'm going to start this mini project, what I will tell, in the day when the mini project is started, one day I will explain the requirement. Second day, you need to do the database design in the class only. So everybody should take a pen and paper, should write down what are the tables are required for this. So I will give you half an hour time to do the database design for the project. After half an hour, I will tell the database design what I will do for this project. Then you need to compare your database design, my database design for this project. Then you will understand where you are doing the mistake. From that mistake, you have to learn. Next time, you should not repeat that mistake. If you realize where you are doing the mistake, then your skills will improve. Your thought process will change. For example, directly if I explain database design, you will feel it is very easy. If I explain, you will feel it is very easy. Without my explanation, if you try to do it on your own, then you will understand the complexity in that. So in the Amirpet, right, most of the students will follow trainers blindly. They will not apply their own thoughts. So that's why people are not confident to attend the interviews. So if you start doing the things on your own, slowly you will become experienced developer. Your confidence levels will increase. You can develop any type of requirement after 3 to 4 months of time. Now, if I ask you, you completed core Java, advanced Java. If I give this requirement, can you develop by using JDBC, Servlet and JSP? Very less number of people can do that. But most of the people cannot, because they don't have analytical skills. How to develop this login page, how to develop this registration page, how to display dashboard, how to display drop downs here. Drop downs data should come from the database table, how to filter the data, how to edit the record, how to update the record in the website. So implementing this functionality is a little challenging for the freshers. So that's where your coding skills should be improved. Your designing skills should improve. Your analysis skills should improve. Are you getting my point? Good. So that is the next step. What we need to do as a developer? Database design for the project. What do you mean by database design? What is the meaning of database design?
How many tables required for the
How
project?
many tables required, how many columns, and primary keys, foreign keys. Once the database design part is completed, then Java components design. We need to design Java components. When I say Java components, how many classes we need to create? What should be the name of the class? What methods we need to take in the class? What is the name of the method? What should be the method name? What should be the method parameter? What should be the method return type? So for this project, how many Java classes we need to write? For this project, how many Java classes we need to write? How many methods we need to write? How many parameters we need to take for the method? What return type we need to take? How many interfaces we need to take? You need to design that. You need to design that. Suppose, for example, if I give you this requirement, this screen, 5 minutes of time, can you tell me to develop only this page? How many classes, how many methods, method parameters, method return types? Can you identify that? In my table, there is student data. So this is basically institute website. Student will come to our institute to inquire for the course. Their inquiries we are storing in the database by using add inquiry page. So in my website, there is a page available, add inquiry. Student data will be added into database table. That student data we are displaying. When we are displaying the data, I can filter by using class mode. I can filter data by using course name. I can filter data by using status. I can edit the inquiry. I can update the inquiry. In order to develop these 2 pages as one project, how many tables required? How many classes required? What methods required? What parameter required for the method? What return type required for the method? Can you try? Just think about it. Think about it. What are the tables? Just to develop these 2 pages, I'm asking. Adding the inquiry, display the inquiry, filter the inquiries, edit the inquiry, update the inquiry. Card operations. Save, retrieve, edit, update, delete. Sorry, delete is not there. So if I give this a task, how many of you can complete this task on your own? Can you raise your hand? How many of you confident that I can develop this project? Only these 2 pages, completely from the database design to till testing. Offline students. How many of you completed almost 4 to 5 months of training, right? Core Java completed, database completed, web development completed, JDBC. I'm not asking to develop with the Spring Boot because we did not cover Spring Boot as of now. Basic JDBC, Servlet, JSP, Core Java, and MySQL database. How many of you confident to develop this project on your own at this moment? If I give you one laptop, can you complete this project on your own? Come on. Anybody who is confident? Can you raise your hand? One person. Only one person. So now tell me, are you eligible to get the job at this stage? Are you eligible to get the job? 5 months of training is completed, but are you eligible to get the job? No. Why you are not eligible to get the job? Your coding skills are weak. Your analytical skills are weak. You don't know how to do one project completely. You know concept. If I ask you, what is array list? You will give the definition. If I ask you, OOPS concepts, you will give the definition. But where to use the OOPS concepts in this project? Everybody know multi-threading. But where to use that multi-threading in this project? You know try catch. But how to handle exceptions in the project? You know interface. But where to use interface in the project? That is called real-time project. So whatever the topics that you have learned, by using all those topics, we are going to develop these projects. So today, you are not confident to develop these 2 pages in the application. After 2 months of time, you can develop this requirement within 1.5 hours. Within 1.5 hours, you can complete the coding for this project. That is what you are going to learn. So I will make you independent developer. How to think, how to design the database, how to design the classes, how to, if you look at any screen, you should understand. You should understand how many classes are required, how many methods, parameters for the method, return type for the method. For example, I will show you one more requirement. Second project, registration page. This is my registration page. You check it. Are you eligible? I mean, are you confident to develop this requirement? I want you to develop a registration page in my project. Name, email ID, phone number, country drop down. Country names will come from the database. When I select a country as India, only India states should come in the state drop down. When I select state as Telangana, only Telangana cities should come in the city drop down. And is there any password field available? No. When I click on sign up, application will generate a password. It will send password to your email ID. Once you log in with that password, it will ask you to reset the password. How many of you can develop this one page? And how many tables required to develop this page? Are you confident? No. That means you have theoretical knowledge only. Whatever you have learned as of now, that is theoretical knowledge. Currently, your knowledge is not sufficient to work in the real-time project. You are unable to understand. I'm not asking about the coding. Forget about coding. First, analysis. How many classes we need to take for this screen development? How many Java classes required? And how many methods required in the classes? What is the parameter you need to take for the method? What is the return type you need to take for the method? That is difficult to identify. So if you can do that kind of analysis, coding is very easy. People will think coding is difficult. But in my point of view, coding is not difficult. Analysis is difficult. If you can do the proper analysis, coding can be done very easily. So here, if you can identify what classes we need to take, what methods we need to take, what parameter for the method, what return type for the method, coding will be easy. The problem is analysis. The difficult part is analysis. Now, if I ask you to analyze database design, Java classes design for this screen, 99% of the people will fail in this class. They don't know how many classes need to take. They don't know how many tables we need to create for this screen development. They don't know what are the methods we need to take to develop this screen. Are you getting my point? Will you agree with me? So your knowledge is practical or theoretical? Theoretical. When it will become practical? After 2 months. It will take 2 months of time. After 2 months, if you look at any screen like this, within 10 minutes you can tell. For this screen, we need to take 4 tables and we need to create 6 Java classes for that. What are the methods? What are the parameters? What are the return types? But you can complete the design within 15 to 30 minutes of time. That confidence is required for the developer to get the job. Are you clear with my point? So that is the reason I have added 2 mini projects in our course. So with these mini projects, your thought process will change. What is the meaning of thought process change? Analysis skills should improve. Today, I will teach you these 2 projects, guys. Most of the faculties, the Amirpet, what they will do? They will open login page, registration page. Faculty will write login controller, login service, login DAO. Faculty will write the code, everything line by line. Code will complete, code will execute. Student will go to the lab, same code he will practice. Okay. But tomorrow, how many days login page will be there for you? How many days you will develop login page in the company? 1 day, maximum 2 days. If I explain this code on, I will develop this code for sure, right? I will do this coding in 4 hours and I will give the code for you. You will run the same code in your system or you will copy paste that code. Task is completed. Tomorrow, new requirement. Then what you will do? So you need to learn the coding or you need to learn the analysis. We should not worry about what is this requirement. You need to think whether you are able to do it on your own or not. If you can do these requirements on your own, tomorrow you can do any kind of development in the company. So I want you become dynamic developer. I want you to become self-learner. I want you to become independent developer. What is the meaning of independent developer? Here, I'm not going to teach you coding. I will teach you how to do the coding. That code you need to do, but I will help you to improve your analysis skills. If your analysis skills are improved, definitely you will become a good developer. Are you getting my point? That is the difference between other institute and our institute. So they will teach coding, but here I will not teach coding. I will teach analysis. If you can analyze the requirement, coding you can do on your own. So that's why in our course, right, every project that you are going to develop, first student has to think and first student has to do something. Then faculty will do the coding. Then student will compare student code and faculty code. Then you will find out where is the mistake you are doing and how to correct that mistake. So first I will show you what is your weak point as a developer. Then I will tell you the solution for that. From that you have to learn. Your coding skills will improve with this approach, guys. So our project batch is successful in the market. Reason? This formula. I will give the chance for the students to think. I will force the students to think. I will force the students to develop the code. Then I will explain the code. Then we will compare your coding, my coding, your database design, my database design, your analysis, my analysis. So definitely there will be a gap because you will think like a fresher. I will think like a 10 years experienced Java developer. Definitely there will be a gap. So from that gaps, you have to learn. Suppose if you don't think and if you don't write, directly if I write the code, what will happen? You will not learn anything. Course will complete. Tomorrow, you will not get the confidence. You can't attend the interview. You can't face the interview. You can't do the tasks in the company on your own. If you should not buttify the code. You should think and you should try to do it on your own. Initially, I know that some people will scold. Sir Ashok, we are paying you 10,000 rupees for this course now. Then why should we think? Why don't you think? Why don't you write the code? I will write it. It's not a problem for me. This is, what is my batch number? 27 times I have already written that code. That's not a big deal for me. So this is my 28th JRTP batch. So if I do the coding, there is no benefit for you. You need to think like a matured person. If a faculty write the code, student will not learn anything. If you want to become a good developer, you need to think and you need to try to write the code on your own. Definitely, you may do some mistakes. I don't say that you will do completely correct. You will do some mistakes. So fine, realize where you are facing the problem and I will do the code in the class. Then comparison is required. What classes I am taking, what classes you are taking, what tables I am taking, what tables you are taking, where you are doing mistake, where you are going wrong, that you have to analyze. So once you realize your mistakes, then your thought process will change. Next time, I should not do like this. This is the mistake I have done. Next time you will not do that mistake. Are you getting my point? Do you like that approach? That is already proven in the market. Because of that approach, Ashok IT Institute is having very good name for this Spring Boot and Java real-time project courses. Within 4 years, why we became popular? Our content, our approach, our methodology is successful in the market. And if you see in Amirpet, any faculty who is teaching Spring Boot, they are my student only. Anybody who is teaching Java project in the Hyderabad, they are my student only. Because this formula we have implemented 8 years back. When I was part of other institute, I have taken 9 JRTP patches for other institute, which is beside us. Then in 2020, we started this. You got the clarity? So I want you to follow this methodology. Then initially 1 or 2 months, you will face the problem. Today, if you take the pain, then the next 20 years you can enjoy in the company. Now, if you enjoy for these 2 months, 20 years you have to struggle in the company. You need to improve your skills in the 2 months of time. Then you can enjoy in your work. Suppose if you don't struggle for these 2 months, if you are just simply coming to the class and you are expecting everything to be done by Ashok, then 2 months will be happy for you. Then after, picture will start. When you go to the company, every day new task will be available. Every day new requirement will be available for you. You will not be able to do it if your analysis skills are not improved. You got the point? Good. So what you need to do as a developer? You need to understand the requirements and you need to get the clarifications if any doubts on the requirements. Database design you need to do for the project. Nobody will tell you. So you need to take 2 tables, you need to take 3 tables, you need to take 1 foreign key, you need to take 2 foreign keys. Nobody will tell you. That is your responsibility. And nobody will tell you you need to take 10 Java classes. For your method, collection should be parameter, map should be return type, string is parameter, double is a return type. Nobody will tell you. You have to identify and you have to design the classes. You have to design the methods also. So first thing, you are responsible to participate in the meetings on daily basis. And you are responsible to understand the requirements. And if you have any doubt, you need to get the clarifications. Once you got the complete clarity, then only start the database design. If requirement is changed, database design will change. So once your requirement is completely understood, then you go for the database design. Once the database design completed, then you go for the Java components design. When I say Java components design, what I mean to say, interfaces, classes, methods. What interfaces we need to take, what methods we need to take, what are the classes we need to take, that we need to design. Once all this work is completed, then go for actual development. Coding is a 5th step, guys. So many people I have taken interviews in my career. People will come for the interview by keeping 3 to 4 years experience. I will ask them, can you tell me what are your roles and responsibilities? They will say that I'm a Java developer. My responsibility is writing the Java code. What is the meaning of that? So many people, more than 500 people gave the same answer for me in the interview. So I'm a Java developer. My responsibility is writing the Java code. What is the meaning of that? Amirpet student. If anybody telling that my responsibility is writing the Java code, that means he is Amirpet student. So responsibility means coding will not come first, guys. You need to explain all these things. Roles and responsibilities means what you are doing in the company. Coding is just 1 hour, 2 hours work in a day. The remaining 5 to 6 hours management meetings will be available. So if you explain all these points properly, then they will believe that you are having a real-time experience. If you say directly, my responsibility is writing the Java code, that means you are fake. You are from Amirpet. Please realize those interview skills are very, very important, guys. How to attend the interview, how to give the answers, those things are very important. And most of the people, when I have taken the interview, I will ask them, what is multi-threading? They will say 3 years experience. I will ask them, what is multi-threading? They will explain. Multi-threading is used to implement parallel processing in the application. We can create thread in 2 ways by using thread class and by using runnable. I will ask them, what is callable? They don't know. Callable is a third approach to create a thread in the Java. And how to start the thread which is using callable? Executor framework. What is executor framework? Many of the people don't know. But in the industry, multi-threading will be implemented by using callable with executor framework. Okay, some people can tell the answer. Then my next question, where to implement multi-threading in the project? Can you tell me the scenario? Gone. Fail. They don't know. They know multi-threading, but they don't know where to use multi-threading in the project. Everybody know exception handling, but how to handle exceptions in the project? You know oops, where to use oops in the project? Getting my point? Understanding the concept is different and understanding the use case to implement that concept is different. Already you completed the concepts. Everybody know exception handling. Everybody know multi-threading. Everybody know collections. But in this course, I will tell you where to implement those concepts in the project. That is the meaning of real-time project development. Getting the clarity? So what is the benefit of doing this course? Practical knowledge. Theory knowledge already completed. We are going to do everything practically in this course. 2 mini projects and 1 major project. Definitely you are going to get lot of real-time knowledge, real-time scenarios. After this course completed, fatafat you can tell what is the scenario to implement multi-threading, what is the scenario to go for interfaces, how to handle exceptions in the project, how to use oops concepts in the project, where to implement inheritance, where to implement polymorphism, where to implement abstraction, where to implement encapsulation, when to go for which collection, when to go for map, when to go for list, when to go for array list, when to go for linked list. Everything will be come with the practical scenarios, practical use cases. So those things I have implemented in my project. My project scenarios I will explain here. So content will be very, very, very good, guys. But the only thing is you should have the interest. So whatever the content I'm giving, 100% it is not a fresher level. This is experienced level subject. But as a fresher, if you are learning this content, right, this is a very, 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 very big advantage for your career. I told you, tomorrow when you go for the fresher interview with our resume format, definitely that person will get surprised. 20 plus real-time tools you learnt as a fresher. AWS Cloud, Linux, e-commerce project development, front end, back end, microservices, Spring Security, Spring Batch, Spring Cloud. So if you keep all these things in your resume, those people will get surprised. And definitely they will give the chance to work in the company. When we compare other institute fresher and our fresher, what difference will be there? JRTP is the difference. In the other institute, JRTP is not there. For our full stack, JRTP is available. That JRTP will make your resume unique in the industry. When you go for the interview, so when you compare the other people resume and our people resume, in our resume, full content will be available. Our resume is not one paper. Our resume will be like a booklet. Why our resume is like a booklet? That much content we are going to keep. Other people will keep 1-page resume, but we will keep 5 to 6 pages resume. That much information we will keep in that resume. Good. So development is our responsibility. After development is completed, our task is completed? No. Unit testing. What is our responsibility, guys? Unit testing. Unit testing, nothing but whatever the code that we have implemented, we need to test that the code is working as expected or not. For that, we are going to implement a concept called JUnits. We have done the coding. That code is working as expected or not. We have to verify. As a developer, we are responsible to test our code also. Then if code is working as expected, then we will go for code review. We are going for code review. To perform this code review, there is a tool called Sonar Cube. I have done the coding, but there is a chance of doing some mistakes, right? I want to review my code. I want to identify what are the mistakes I have done. For that, there is a tool available, that is Sonar Cube. By using that Sonar Cube, we are going to perform code review. By using Sonar Cube, we will perform code review. Are you able to follow me? Yes. Development is our responsibility. Unit testing is our responsibility. Code review is our responsibility. Once your code review completed, once you fix all the problems identified in the code review, then next one, we are responsible for code integration. Okay, you are writing some code. For one functionality, you are writing the code. I am writing the code for other functionality. She is writing the code for some other functionality. All this code should be integrated at one place. So that's where GitHub repositories comes into picture. That's where GitHub repositories comes into picture. Code review and code integration will be available. Once code is integrated, then we need to go for code deployment, guys. We need to go for code deployment. In order to deploy this code, we will use Docker, Kubernetes, Jenkins. So in the real time, to deploy the applications, right, we are going to create Jenkins CI/CD pipeline. So that Jenkins CI/CD pipeline is responsible to take the code from the GitHub, build that code by using Maven, and review that code by using Sonar, create a Docker image, and deploy in the Kubernetes. So this code deployment is also our responsibility as a developer. Once code deployment is completed, then we are responsible for integration testing. Integration testing, what is the meaning? Unit testing means whatever the classes I develop, whatever the methods I developed, I tested in my system. Now my code is integrated in the GitHub. In the GitHub, your code available, her code available, my code available. After code is integrated, my functionality working or not. Initially, I developed it. In my system, I tested. Only my code available, I tested. It is working. But when the code is integrated, is it working or not? So when my code is integrated in the project, other developers code also available and my code is available. Because of the integration, is there any problem? Because of the integration, is there any problem that we have to identify? So that's where integration testing will be available. Integration testing we have to perform. That means we will test the complete project. So in the entire application, our code is working or not, we are going to test. That comes under integration testing. Once our integration testing is completed, testing team is going to test it, then we are responsible for bug fixing. Okay, if any tester identified bugs in the SIT and UAT, so bug fixing for SIT and UAT support, we will call it as a SIT and UAT support. SIT UAT support nothing but SIT nothing but system integration testing. Our testing team will do that. UAT nothing but user acceptance testing. Client will do that. I told you. For the Deloitte, we developed a project. My UAT happened in the KPMG. KPMG people tested. If they find any bug, we have to fix it. If our testing team find a bug, we have to fix it. That is called bug fixing support we have to provide. If any exception, if any problem, if any bug occurred in the SIT and UAT, we have to fix those bugs. Then next one, we are responsible for documentation. Whatever the work you are doing, whatever the challenges you are facing, those things you need to document. Those documents we will share with the juniors, or we will share with the new team members who are joining in the project. Suppose for example, I have identified one problem with the performance issue in my application. My database query is taking more time to get the data. So it is taking 5 seconds of time. I have reduced it to 3 seconds. 2 seconds time I saved. What is the problem? What is the impact? What is the solution? I have to document. That documentation we will give to our project team members. So that documentation is also very, very, very important. Your manager, your lead will ask you, whatever the work you are doing, you need to do the documentation for that work also. It is something like a user manual. Whenever you purchase a mobile, a booklet will be available as a manual, right? So similarly, for every project also, documentation will be available. Then I am responsible for knowledge transfer, KT. I am working in the team. One new employee joined in my team. For the new employee, I need to share the knowledge. What is our project? What is architecture? What is the database design? What are the modules available? What is the functionality? What is pending? What is completed? How we are doing the work? So everything, whatever the knowledge I gain in that project, that knowledge I need to share with my team members. If any new person join, I need to train the new person to work in my project. So that knowledge transfer, KTs also we have to provide for the team members, guys. Are you clear with my point? Yes, these are the roles and responsibilities of the developers. When somebody asks you what are your roles and responsibilities, don't say that Java coding is my responsibility. You need to say all these 11, 13 points I have given, These are the roles and responsibilities of developers in the company. These roles and responsibilities only for Java developers? No, every developer, Python developer, Angular developer, React, front end, back end, any technology. If you are a developer, then you have to do these things in the company. Yeah, come on, read the points. What are, today I gave the answer for one interview question. Explain your roles and responsibilities. So then you need to explain all these 13 points. Good, come on, first. What is the first one? We need to participate in the project meetings. So every day meetings will be available. Every day minimum 2 to 3 meetings will be available for you. So 4 to 5 hours of time will be wasted in the meetings only, right? So we need to participate in project meetings. What kind of meetings will be available? Functional discussions will be available. Backlog grooming will be available. Sprint planning, Scrum meetings, release calls, retro, bug triaging will be available. Then you need to understand requirements and get the clarifications if any doubts on the requirements. Then who will clarify our doubts? Who will clarify our doubts? Functional team or business analyst team will be available. Business analyst team will provide clarifications for our doubts. For every project, functional team will be available. They will get the requirement from the client. They will explain the requirement to the developers and testers. So if you are not able to understand the requirement, if you have any question, you will talk to functional team. They will provide clarifications on the requirements. Once you got complete clarity on the requirement, what is the next step? Database design. How many tables, how many columns, data type, primary keys, foreign keys, constraints, relationships that you have to establish. Then next one, after the database design completed, here one thing, once you complete your database design, then you show your design to your senior members in the project. For example, I am working with 11 years in my project. When my team member is 3 years experience, whenever they are working on requirement, they will do the database design and they will show it to me. Why? Because they implemented their thoughts, but their understanding may be different. Their understanding may go wrong also. So that's why once you do any design, before going to start the implementation, take the review, take the feedback from the senior. Hey Ashok, so for this requirement, I have done the database design like this. Can you please think on this and let me know, am I missing anything? Am I missing anything? Then what is the advantage? What is the advantage? If you are doing any mistake, then your senior will help you. If you are doing any mistake, then your senior will help you. And tomorrow, suppose if manager asked you, why you have designed the database like this is wrong. Then what you can say? Sir, I have already shown to team lead. He said, okay, that's why I developed. Then you are putting the ball on which court? You are safe here. Are you guys getting my point? So as a junior, you need to play this technique, guys. Suppose if you don't show to the team lead, if you directly design the database, if you directly do the coding, suppose if there is a mistake in the design, manager will catch you. Suppose if you show to the team lead before the development, hey team lead, this is my database design, please review. Team lead said okay. Then you developed it. There is a problem. Then who is affected? Team lead. Why? Manager asks you, Ashok, why you have done this mistake in the database design? Sir, I have given to team lead for review. Team lead said, okay, that's why I have developed it. Then manager will call team lead. Who will get the gift from the manager now? Team lead. So always you need to play the safe game. So if you want to play the safe game, before doing any work, show to the senior member. So tomorrow if there is a problem, that person is also there along with you. Good. That is a technique you need to follow. So database design is our responsibility. Next one, Java components design. What is the meaning of Java components design? Identifying the classes and methods, parameters, return types properly, to do the development. Then once design, here also, what is the technique? Show to team lead. Always involve team lead. Always involve your team lead in the project, in your work. Then if you do any mistake, team lead will give answer to manager. You no need to give answer to manager. You loop team lead everything whatever you are doing. Because so team lead will tell you if there is any mistake. If he also don't identify the mistake, manager will talk to the team lead, not to the developers. So that's why before going to do anything, always go for the review with your senior resource available in the project. Okay, good. Then you are safe. Once your design is completed, take the feedback. Once they told that okay, this is okay, then go for development. Suppose if you don't take the feedback, if you directly do the coding, if any mistake, you will be affected. That's the reason keep your senior people for the review. They will guide you if you are doing any mistake. If they don't guide you, that is their problem. Next, development. Coding we are going to do here. Once coding is completed, you need to test. Unit testing is also our responsibility. Is our code working as expected or not? We can test it. Okay, next one, code review. Are we following the proper coding standards or not? Is there any bugs available in the code? Is there any duplicate code available? Is there any code vulnerability available? That we are going to identify by using Sonar Cube. So Sonar Cube will identify developers' mistakes in the code, guys. Okay. Next one, code integration. What is the meaning of code integration? Come on. All the code should be integrated in the repository. Either GitHub repository or Bitbucket repository will be available for our projects, guys. We need to integrate our code. Then once code integration completed, deployment. How to do the deployment in the real time? Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes will be used. Okay. Then integration testing. What is the meaning of integration testing? Once all the code is integrated, test your functionality work. Your functionality worked in your local system. Once the code is integrated, is it working or not? You have to verify. Then what is the next step? Bug fixing. What is the meaning of bug fixing? SIT and UAT support. If any problems identified in the application, if any bugs identified in the project, you need to fix the bugs. So they will identify in the SIT, they will identify in the UAT. What is the meaning of SIT? System integration testing. Who will do that? Testing team. Our company testing team will do that. UAT, user acceptance. Client will do that. Other company will do that. Then documentation. Whatever the challenges you faced, what are the solutions you have implemented in the project, anything that you want to share with your team members, you can make one documentation. And the next one, knowledge transfer. Whatever the knowledge you have gained, that you need to share with your team members. And you are responsible for one more thing, that is called in-house trainings. There will be a concept called in-house trainings. In-house trainings nothing but you need to conduct some seminars in the company. You need to give the trainings for the team members. You need to train your team members on the new technologies that you have learned. So I told you every Friday, last Friday we have a session. So those kind of sessions you need to give to the company. You need to give those sessions to the team members also. Those are called in-house trainings. For your company employees, for your project team members, you need to conduct a training session. At least for every quarter, once or twice if you take the session, then manager will have a good opinion on your profile. So always you need to impress your manager with your work. Then you will get the hike and you will get the promotions. Good. So if anybody asks you what are your roles and responsibilities, you need to tell these 14 points, guys. Got the clarity? Yes. Offline students, any questions? You need to remember these 14 points now that you need to answer in the interview. So don't give single line answer for the roles and responsibilities. So complete SDLC model we are explaining here. So what we need to do as a developer in the company. Are you clear? Are you satisfied with this answer now? How to explain roles and responsibilities as a developer? How many of you know this before today's session? One person, he worked in the company, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people know this answer already, but for the remaining people, first time. Yes. Where to use the enums? Yes, Anil, we will discuss. Enums basically we will use when you want to deal with the constants in the application. Enums we will use when we are dealing with the constants in the application. Okay, good guys. So with this, we completed 3 sessions. Already 2 videos available in our YouTube channel, and today video also I will share in our YouTube channel. Okay, so you can go to this website, and I want all of you to, if anybody don't have your account, create a new account in the website, guys. I will upload the notes in the website. Last 2 videos you can find out in our channel. So day 1 and day 2 video available. Day 3 video also I will upload today.